process before going for his 4th time. We do not expect that it will take a longer time for the vetting to take place. But what I can say is that all is set and the vetting has begun.
It's our man monitoring this for us. Definitely we'll be bringing you more from this vetting of NPP presidential hopeful. We're told today that Alan Chairman, Dr. Bawumia and Kwadwo Poku are to appear before that committee. So we'll be bringing you more on that. Away, PG will from this week begin paying independent power producers as agreed in a new pay Mahama. Their accounts will be credited once the IPPs have fulfilled their part of the deal.
The IPPs rejected a government proposal to restructure almost $2 billion in arrears from the International Monetary Fund aimed at addressing the economic crisis. The power producers, who have a 50% market share of electricity generation, threatened to shut down their plant by June 30 should their demand for 30% interim payment of their debt is not received.
Well, definitely, if there is no remedial action, I cannot guarantee light from 30th June.
Managing Director of the ECG, Samuel Dubik Mahama, leading negotiations with the IPPs at the time, indicated that a deal will be reached.
We've had very, very productive discussions and they would not go off with all confidence. I would say ignore because we do owe them. So I would say ignore, but what I'll say is that the conversations are far advanced to avert something like this. And so I can say with all confidence that it won't come to that.
But days later, it turned out that the IPPs hadn't been engaged. Ediklim Apatogbo is CEO of the IPP's chamber.
No, we've not had any negotiation in that regard.
In a directive to members to switch off plants from July 1, minority in their bid to calm situations called a press conference to appeal to the IPPs to back down.
And so I want to make a passionate appeal and plead with the independent power producers to give government and the nation some more time.
The government was able to convince the IPPs to abort the shutdown while reaching a new agreement. Under the new agreement, the power producers received an interim payment offer with the understanding that government and the Electricity Company of Ghana will use the grace period to work towards a permanent resolution of the debt issue.
So we've agreed on numbers across board for everybody, and everybody knows what they have to do and get back to us by the middle of the week. When they do that, whatever needs to be credited to them will be credited to them immediately.
The IPPs, however, indicated that if this outcome is not reached, they will be left with no choice than to revert to their earlier decision to shut down without any further notice.
The director of the Wager Leprosarium, Reverend Father Andrew Campbell, is calling for more support for people living with leprosy across the country. According to him, such persons are helpless and live in penury. He was making the appeal at the inauguration of the Lepers Aid Board and Council of Co-workers and Friends of Father Campbell Foundation. Listen.
Father Campbell says he was inspired by Mother Teresa to embark on the project by supporting the vulnerable in the society. But he says the demands on him have become enormous, such that he needs his friends and associates to help him put smiles on the faces of the vulnerable in the Ghanaian society.
Very, very happy moment, because over the years here in Ghana, I'm over 52 and a half years in Ghana, and every year I seem to get more and more people coming to me for help. The street children, the lepers in the different settlements all over the country, and more people are coming, and I cannot do it all on my own. I need help, and that's why when I was reading about Mother Teresa forming this friends and co-workers of Mother Teresa, I said, yes, that's what I need to do, is to have friends and co-workers of Father Campbell coming together and be able to help, because the poor people today, many of them go to bed hungry. The poor people, they cannot afford a lawyer. Like one of my friends, a very poor person, he said to me, Father, he said, for the poor there's no justice. I cannot afford a lawyer. I cannot. So he was discouraged, in this. And then when you see the prices of medication, 1 to 2 clots in the lung, I'm paying 950 cedis a month just for medication, just for one person.
He further called for support to enable him meet the demands that come with catering for the lepers.
So we must help them. Those of us who are well, those of us who are strong, those of us who have something, we must share it with others. When God has given all of us gifts, so we can easily share it with others. It might be just something small or something big, whatever it might be, because Mother Teresa was asked once, well, what you're doing is like a drop of water in the ocean. And Mother Teresa says, the ocean is better off for that drop of water. Every Christmas we have a concert. So we'll be organising our concert and to get more and more people to come and donate and let people know what is happening. Because many people don't even know a time that Weija Leprosarium exists. They don't know. They don't know that every year over 250 new cases of leprosy in Ghana. They don't know that. They don't know these things. So we will be able to help them and be able to let people know. And letting them know when they know this, touch their hands and touch their heart and touch their pocket.
There were pledges and other donations at the launch. Former Auditor General Daniel Yao Domelovo graced the launch. Richard Kwadwo, Joy News, Weija Leprosarium, Accra.
Let's stay a bit longer on care for persons living with leprosy in Ghana and how widespread the condition is at the moment, as well as general care for the socially excluded. Of the Weija Leprosarium, Reverend Father Andrew Campbell, has joined me in the studio right now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure to see you. And let me congratulate you for the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Joy News Impact Makers Award. How does that make you feel?
That people are recognizing what I am doing, and more people want to help, because many people don't know of the situation in Ghana.
Yeah.
Because it's not just Weija we're helping. We're also helping Ho, the settlement in Ho. There's a settlement in Nkanchina, that's the Uti Riverside.
Yes.
Also Kokofu. And also in Wa. We've got over down in Cape Coast, Anchorful. So we've been helping all of those. And about twice a year, the District Common Fund, they give me money to buy food and medical care, medicines and the rest. So we go on a tour and we go around to all these various settlements and bring them the food items and the medicines and the rest.
Okay. So tell me more about the impact changed since June 23 when you were handed that award.
When I received that award, I felt so elated, and that more people will come on board and say, look, that's why I've started the Friends of Father Campbell, friends and co-workers of Father Campbell.
Yeah.
So that, and the idea came to me because my patron is Mother Teresa of Calcutta.
Okay.
I've always looked to her as an example, as a model. So she had this group called Friends of and co-workers of Mother Teresa.
Okay.
So the idea came to me, well, I can do the same here.
Yeah.
And get people involved, form an organization that we all come together, let's say once a year for a meeting, or once a year for a concert, and they can give so much maybe every month. Because bills, hospital bills and medical care is skyrocketed in the past year.
Yeah.
And I have to pay a lot of money. This year alone, I would have paid over 100,000 cedis, for people who have been sick, people who have been hospitalized and paid such and such. So this group me, to raise money and to be able to pay these bills and the rest. So we've got one little girl who's our little princess.
Okay.
She came from Wa, and she had leprosy. We don't know how she got it.
Oh, goodness.
We don't know. And they're just full of sores. One day they saw the age, maybe around 2-ish, just full of sores, and they realized she had leprosy. Took her to the hospital. And nobody in the family has leprosy.
Wow.
But the grandfather wanted to take her out of the hospital and perform rituals.
Okay.
And you know what that means.
This 4th of July, put on a show for the whole neighborhood. With a yard of vibrant flowers, plants, and vegetables from the Home Depot. Save on a variety of plants for your celebration with Red, White, and Dew savings. Visit your local garden center and shop 3.5-inch burpee vegetables and herbs now on special buy, 5 for $10. Make your summer with red, white, and dew savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The idea came to me because my patron is Mother Teresa of Calcutta.
Okay.
I've always looked to her as an example, as a model. So she had this group called Friends of and Co-workers of Mother Teresa.
Okay.
So the idea came to me, well, I can do the same here.
Yeah.
And get people, involved, form an organization that we all come together, let's say once a year for a meeting or once a year for a concert, and they can give so much maybe every month. Because bills, hospital bills and medical care is skyrocketed in the past year.
Yeah.
And I have to pay a lot of money. This year alone, I would have paid over 100,000 CDs, for people who have been sick, people who have been hospitalized and paid such and such. So this group, to raise money and to be able to pay these bills and the rest. So we've got one little girl who's our little princess.
Okay.
She came from Wa, and she had leprosy. We don't know how she got it.
Oh, goodness.
We don't know. And they're just full of sores. One day they saw the age, maybe around 2-ish, just full of sores, and realized she had leprosy. Took her to the hospital. And nobody in the family has leprosy.
Wow.
But the grandfather wanted to take her out of the hospital and perform rituals.
Okay.
And you know what that means. He wouldn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
The mother ran away.
Yeah.
So the child was left abandoning how to even talk now at the age of 4.
Nice.
So we took her. We didn't want to abandon. She's such a beautiful little girl. But she stepped on hot coals. And when you have leprosy, the nerves are affected such and such. So she didn't feel it. So the bones got infected. The bones on the left foot. 2 amputations on the left leg. Below, just at the knee. Leg to see if we can help her in some way. So all that, the cost in the hospital, the cost of medication, where do I get that money from?
That's a lot of money.
Because the government gives a LEAP fund. They give 30 CDs a month, which is 1 CD a day.
Wow.
I can't live on that.
Yeah.
And they can't live on it either. Mm-hmm. They can't live on it. That's why I need support. I need the help from people of goodwill.
Let's talk generally about the situation of people living with leprosy and the things you've spoken about, this little girl, and all the others, the things that you're doing to cater for them at your facility.
So, I tell the people in Wage are blessed because people celebrate their birthday or anniversary, they come and give us food. And whatever food we have left over, we take care of the other settlements. So the other settlements are not as blessed as the food we have left over. We take care of the other settlements. So the other settlements are not as blessed as regards visitors, as regards benefactors. I don't know how they exist because they send word to us at times. They send word, Father, we're hungry. Father, we're hungry.
Yeah.
Or we need help. Can you help somebody get into hospital and maybe has an amputation to be done or something? Father, we're hungry.
Yeah.
Or we need help. Can you help somebody get into hospital and maybe has an amputation to be done or something?
It will just be popping up on your screens if you want to support. There's also a Momo number 02433266643. The name is Andrew Campbell, and if you want to support with food, drinks, water, you can also call the office. Is 055-690-6660. No amount is too small to support this good cause.
They're always welcome to come to Wager.
Definitely.
Just to come and see us, and we show them around and see what we're doing, and to meet the people.
Yeah.
To meet people, come and spend time and celebrate their birthdays or their anniversaries, and it's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful to see them. Like the soup kitchen for the joy. It was fantastic.
Yes,
it was a wonderful day.
Wonderful
day.
And they were
we
so
went
happy.
They made them the happiest. Let me give you one instance. Last 2 years, I brought all the residents of Wager. I brought them to West Hill Mall.
Oh, wow.
We went into ShopRite. I brought all the residents of Wager. I brought them to West Hill Mall.
Oh, wow.
We went into ShopRite.